Alright, looks like it's up, so that's neat. Anyway, yeah, we are good. Alright, so welcome everyone to my second review here, which is titled Vinyl the Show Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution, a live review. So, as just with last night, I'm doing a live review of one of my other favorite albums, which is Purple... I can't say purple. Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. So, there's no good place to start with this. There's a lot of places to start. You could start with Prince himself. You could start with the fact that, well, the amount of purple on this is kind of a lot. I mean, he's on a purple motorcycle. He's wearing purple. The entire logo is purple. There's a lot of purple on the back, mixed with yellow, of course. I really like the back of this. Okay, so first of all, if you didn't notice yet, that white blob back there, that'll be my dog. Puppy, hey. She opened her eyes a little. Oh well, I think she's a little sleepy, but hey, she's here. So anyway, Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. Now this right here, this is a great album. This is actually one of my first albums that I got for my record player. I ended up getting my record player and I bought Death of a Bachelor by Panic! At the Disco and the Coldplay Kaleidoscope EP, which I love both of them still to this day. And this was one of my later purchases, which I still love. So starting with the cover art, we're going to go right into this and say this is 80s, like very 80s. This came out, what year? 1984. This is from Warner Brothers Records, printed in the US. Now, from what I collected, this is not one of those CD reprintings. This is like the original master vinyl, because people still buy this. People still buy this a lot today, especially when they first get into vinyl, as with me. So, as I was looking on this, I found some very dated statements in here, like I'm also available on cassette. The last time I saw a cassette tape for sale, it was online for like some sort of band that was like just starting or something. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great way to get your name out there, but not a lot of people have cassettes anymore. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of humorous. Let's take a look at the back here. I really like the back. So it's a little hard to read even for me. Oh, alright. So it starts off on side one, goes along the side here. Everything's in a different font. I love that. And if you look on the back, it's just a collection of different lyrics with a floral print on the back. Now, this is a typical Warner Brothers packaging is, as with Moondance by Van Morrison, comes with your anti-static sleeve. That just fell. Comes with your anti-static sleeve, which you're going to want this. Now, for those of you who don't know, vinyl is very susceptible to dust. Very susceptible to dust. So having an anti-static sleeve is much better than storing it in, say, something that could actually cause any static electricity, because then dust will be drawn to it, and you have to clean it off, and it takes forever, which is then why you get a microfiber cloth to clean it off, or you can just buy one of the fancy ones. Like I saw this vacuum the other day, and it's like a little vacuum thing that you put on a vacuum, sort of. Okay, that came out really weird. It's like a little vacuum attachment, is a better way to put it. And you just put it on your turntable, and you spin the record, and it cleans it. It's the weirdest looking thing, but apparently it works really well. I saw it for like, I want to say $20-something on a different vinyl channel. But anyway, back to the album. Beautifully packaged, very, very 80s, very Prince, very floral and purple, and very nice, very nice. Now, it's interesting that they decided to add a gatefold piece of paper in here. This is just a piece of paper with what I'm assuming is Prince's face on the back, and a very, very difficult to read lyric sheet. Now, this is my only gripe about the packaging. The lyric sheet is purple text on a black and yellowish background in very small font, very hard to read. But it's definitely Prince, because every time there's a word that could be printed as a number, he does it. I mean, it's Prince. So, obviously, he's got to sign the biggest one in the biggest font. So, of course, Purple Rain at the very end is the largest. There's the glare. Purple Rain is obviously the largest over here in terms of font. Now, I really, really like the way that he does the different font in it, obviously, and I mentioned this before. Let's see here. Like, the song Purple Rain, for example, is very, pointy font, to say the least, up here. I don't know why, but every single time there's a different font, I take it as a change in the actual music, and I like that. I really like when an artist can do that and show, without you even having to listen to the song, you can realize this is what it's got to be about. And that's very obvious with Prince. He was born in Minnesota, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. So he started his career very small, very small. Now, the movie that goes along with this, yes, you heard that right. There is a movie that goes along with Purple Rain. Let's read right down here at the bottom. Music from the motion picture Purple Rain starring Prince. Now, Prince only had one other movie, which I think is Under the Cherry Moon, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what it's called. But he's on the front, he completely different hairstyle. He doesn't have this cool looking, kind of pompadour-ish, wouldn't you say? I don't know. I haven't really read into Prince's hair very much because he changes it a lot. Or did change it. Anyway, on to the actual record itself here. With all my Warner Brothers records, I must say, very, very well done, guys. Very well printed. 180 gram vinyl. This is the kind of stuff you want. Now, starts off, the record label, as you can see, is not the same on both sides. It's a little off-center. That is okay, because it's going to be spinning the whole time anyway. So it starts off with side 1, Let's Go Crazy, Take Me With You, The Beautiful Ones, Computer Blue, Darling Nikki. Let's move to the second side here, if I can turn this. Alright, second side has got to be my favorite. The second side is all songs I like, which ranges from When Doves Cry to I Would Die For You to Baby I'm Sorry to Purple Rain, of course, which is 8 minutes long. Almost 9, actually. Now, I'm going to put this back before I get any more fingerprints on it. There you go. There you go, little guy. Now, before I go any farther, let me just make sure I'm not... Yeah. Alright, I just want to make sure that I wasn't, not saying anyone was not watching this or anything. I just want to make sure no one was saying anything in the chat. So, anyway. I have a complicated relationship with this album. Being as that is one of my first albums that I ever listened to on vinyl, I loved it. I mean, of course, every time you listen to vinyl for the first time, you're going to notice that definite difference. I hadn't listened to very much of Prince's work before I actually started listening to Purple Rain. Purple Rain really opened up, like, what Prince can do for me, the listener. And, you alright? I think she noticed something. Hey. There she is. Anyway, still going. So, as I said, I love this album, but this is going to be an interesting review, to say the least. I can go without going any farther and say that I give this a 9.5. It's absolutely perfect except for, like, one part. And it's very early on, so you can just barely miss it. Alright, so you're going to notice it when I say it. So let's start with, I really wish I could just look at the lyric sheet and see the things much easier than I could actually, tell you guys what parts I like and what I don't, just from that. But I guess I can't do that. So anyway, now that I'm done with my 2-second Mountain Dew break, let's begin with the very first song. Side 1, or Side A, whatever. Side 1, Side B. We know Side 1, Side A. Whatever you guys call it, okay? I like to call it Side 1 because it's only one LP. Actually, no. Side A would make more sense. I'm just going to stop there and start talking about the music before I overthink this. Alright, very first song, absolute classic here. You hear this one on the radio all the time, if you're lucky. This is Prince's, I'm not going to say magnum opus, but it's up there, called Let's Go Crazy, which starts off very, very well. Starts off with a bit of a monologue, which this is iconic. This is very iconic. This is 80s. This is later on, even when people really started to get into them and whatnot. I mean, people were already into them. But this monologue. Stop me if you know this. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when they call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one. Doctor, everything will be alright. Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind. Wow, I can barely read this. In this life, things are much harder in the afterworld. This life, you're on your own. Bah, 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 bah. And if the elevator tries to break you down, go crazy. Put your hands up. Bah, 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 and it just keeps going on. It's great. I love it. I love it. I'm a huge fan of that. It starts off very gospel-y almost, I want to say. It's very church song, monologue feel to it, especially with the, I think that's an organ in the background when it, like, just starts. It sounds very organ-like, sounds very, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, ethereal? Is that how I pronounce it? I don't know. I tried. Wow, I'm 12 minutes in, I haven't even gotten to the second song yet. Woo! Anyway, let's just keep going with this. Okay, this song, again, wonderful, wonderful song. It goes, I don't want to say it goes through the motions, because it doesn't. It doesn't go through the motions. It truly solidifies itself as, this is the beginning of the song, this is the beginning of the movie, if you're watching the movie. And for those of you following along at home, this is the very first song of Purple Rain, if you know this album well enough to know its track list. So, Prince just comes up, does this little speech, comes back down, does this great song, and then by the end it kind of slows down a little, but then, like, he just does this absolutely, like, godlike solo on his guitar, and it is, ooh. Right? I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah. But that's just me. I think since Prince is a multi-talented artist, he plays a lot of music for his own band, for his own, well, a lot of things, actually. And he sings, too. I have not heard someone with that much of a vocal range, other than Brendan Urie. So, moving on to the next song, Take Me With You, which is the one song I don't like very much. I like its placement if it were to take part in, like, okay, so Pink Floyd, and I know, Prince, Pink Floyd, very different things, but hear me out. The Wall, Pink Floyd's The Wall, concept album. Tells a story that loops back on itself. It plays Outside the Wall at the very end of the entire album, and plays a little snippet of it at the beginning of the very first song in the entire album. I'm not talking about, like, each disc. I mean, like, it ends at the very last song and starts again at the very first song. So if you were to listen to it hours and hours on end, it would come back to the same place and it would just keep going. I really like that. That's a concept album that's really well thought out. Now, this quote unquote storytelling for this is very well, I mean, it's supposed to be along with the movie. And this song is subtitled Take Me With You, duet with Apollonia, which I don't know too much about the movie, but I do know that Apollonia is the main love interest of Prince, also known as the kid in the movie, because, you know, it's like more of an autobiography, but he didn't really want to come out and say that. It's very much like his own life, so I don't know why he didn't. But from I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I read this article once about, like, actually I read a few articles. Actually, I recommend this one article. It's the complete oral history of the Purple Rain tour. Brings up the movie a lot, brings up the tour, obviously, the whole time. Brings up a lot of weird things Prince used to do, which I'll come to at the end. Next song, though, because I didn't really want to talk about Take Me With You very much. It's very light, very poppy, very song of the summer sort of thing. And I know I said that about Heartworms and a few of the songs on there, but there's just that specific stereotype that hits me as, oh, this is one of the songs that everyone's going to say is a song of the summer. Alright, Computer Blue. I like the song. I really like this song. It's a little weird when you first start out. You're like, what am I listening to? Is this Prince? Is this... Well, let me tell you, it is. And I'm at least 80% sure that this is the, like, so you know how movies have, like, that certain melody that they repeat over and over again? I mean, if you watched Elf, then, like, there's that one, like, few measure song that they keep playing in, like, multiple different versions. Computer Blue seems like that sort of song, like what it would do in the movie. It seems like it'd be that song. And I'm not trying to compare this to the movie, I'm just saying that this will be that song that would do that, if I were to give it some sort of, I want to say, some sort of title, some sort of, comparison. I just realized I completely skipped over the beautiful ones. Wow, okay, I'm sorry. Again, really hard to read this. I mean, look, honestly. Look at this. If I can... See? I can't even find it up here. There it is. Right there. You can barely even tell that's there. But anyway, it is there. It exists. Every time I listen to this album, I just kind of sit there and listen to this one. I don't really think about this one very much. I just kind of sit there and take it in, because that's what you can do with music most of the time, unless, you know, it's Pink Floyd, Rush, Jethro Tull, I don't know, anything that you can really, like, set aside everything, really think. This is a very social album. This is an album that you put on at a party in the late 80s or something. I mean, it came out in, like, mid-80s, but still, late 80s, because I like the late 80s better. I'm sorry. But, this is one of those albums that you put on, and everyone would listen to it, and you'd have a party completely based around music, and this would be the album that everyone would be like, oh, put this one on, and you'd play the whole thing. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to play the whole thing with normal vinyl records, I mean, at least in my opinion. But if you really want to listen to a whole album, you have to do Prince, Pink Floyd. You don't have to do Blink-182. Cat Stevens, I don't know. Cat Stevens' album seemed kind of disjointed to me. Don't listen to Saturday Night Fever in one sitting. It's two LPs of pure disco. I mean, some people can do it. I know some people that can, but I only really listen to, like, the first LP, which is, like, mostly Bee Gees and Bee Gees covers. And then all the rest is mostly instrumental, except for the 10-minute version of Disco Inferno by the Tramps, which I constantly keep on if I'm not doing reviews or actually doing something productive. A 10-minute version of Disco Inferno? Let me tell you, that's good. So anyway, now that I'm finally done... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not done. I have to get through this one. Darling Nikki. Okay. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people pushing for the way of noting, oh, well, this album's a little iffy for that younger crowd. This song is... I mean, it mentions Purple Rain at the very end, but it just says it. It doesn't really... Okay. You're gonna have those songs that are transitions. This is one of those songs. This is one of those songs that you're gonna say, I've just gotta wait through this one to flip it over. Or, like, I'm not really a fan of On the Run by Pink Floyd, which is the second song. No, technically it's the third if you count Breathe. Anyway. Because some people say Speak to Me and Breathe. It isn't the same thing. So anyway. After Speak to Me, Breathe is the song On the Run, which, if you were to just take a synthesizer and throw some hammers at it, you'd probably write it. Now, I'm not saying that against Pink Floyd, I'm just saying that it's very unlike the rest of the album. And I forget which band member it was, but it was one of them, and the song was kind of like a self-monologue on their fear of flight. I mean, it is a very hard to listen to track if you're stressed. Like usually I put on Wish You Were Here. That's an album I can sit through the entirety of and never get up. Dark Side of the Moon, I have to get up and be like, do I really want to, like, sit here and think about the song On the Run? No. And it's the same way for Darling Nikki. I feel like as the last song of the A-side, it's okay. I mean, you're going to get up and flip the record after this anyway, so if you don't like it, then it gives you some extra time to actually go flip over the record. Other than that, it's a transition. That's how I look at it. I look at it as a transition from the A-side to the B-side. Because as you progressively get farther and farther into the album, it gets less poppy and less light. It gets kind of it's very indulgent in the first side. It's very like they're all guilty pleasure songs in like the first side. I feel like it's all like, oh, I listen to this, but I don't like say it outright that I listen to it. It's like people that listen to ABBA and don't like outwardly say that they like the song Dancing Queen. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I like that song. I'm sorry. But my point is that side A, while it does have like one or two songs that I do like, has a lot of transition songs that just serve as a way to get from song to song for me. And that's how I feel about side A. And that, I know I said I gave this a 9.5, but side A is made up for by side B, which I'm starting right now. Side B, this is where Prince really picks up on what he's doing, how he usually does it. This is very interesting. So let's start with When Doves Cry, the extended edition. I'm not talking about that radio edit that ends right at the guitar solo, because that is a great guitar solo. Just saying. So, lots of imagery in this song, a lot of it. Like, Prince literally comes out and says in the first line, dig, if you will, a picture. And that picture, yes, in fact, I did dig that picture, I must say. I did. So, I feel like that, it was an interesting beginning to the B-side. I'd already known the song going in. I was prepared. I knew what to listen for. But on vinyl, it changed it for me. I'm like, I haven't heard the extended edition yet. I haven't heard anything past the beginning of the guitar solo. And it is an essential part of listening to this album. You have to listen to the full version of each of these songs. I know Purple Rain is almost like 9 minutes. But you can sit through it. You can sit through it and enjoy every second of it. And When Doves Cry starts that precedent of this is going to be a good side. This is going to be good. This is going to be deep. This is going to be self-introspective of whatever Prince wanted me to be self-introspective of. Because this album is a lot of things. This album is a lot of things. This album is happy. This album is sad. This album has religious allegories in the next song, actually, come to think of it. Which moves me on to I Would Die For You, which, of course, spelled with the number 4 and the letter U. Again, it's Prince. I like this song. I like this song. I like it. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one. I like this. So, it's, as I said in my stream before, a lot of songs have a certain tone to them, but convey a completely different meaning in their lyrics. Now, this song sounds very synthesizer-y, very 80s dance scene sort of thing, is usually what I get from it when I listen to it by itself. In the context of an article that I read earlier, not like a month ago, but more like a year ago, when I first started getting into Prince. Actually, no, this is more than a few years. No. Time doesn't matter. So, let's look through here. Some of these lyrics here. Now, tell me what this makes you think of, alright? I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I'm something that you'll never understand. Now, let's move down a little bit. I would die for you. You're just a sinner, I am told. I'll be your, I think that says line, when you're cold. Now, does that sound like a religious figure you happen to know? That's right, religious allegories in the Prince song, I Would Die For You. I read an article about it. I find it a very interesting perspective on this song because, well, what can I say? I like Prince, and I like hearing different opinions on said artist. So, I like this song. I like that outlook. It's very... When you listen to it as just like a normal, like, oh, it's a song, you listen to it and you hear, oh, it's someone that loves somebody, and they're, talking and being like, oh, I die for you, being so nice and mushy and stuff, right? I mean, that's what we're all thinking. So, when I first listened to this, I'm like, it's a song about unconditional love. Obviously, in the title, it says, I would die for you, and you wouldn't die for someone if you didn't love them. Now, after reading the article about the allegories in this song, I looked at it and said, this could be, what's that word? It starts with an A, and it's like, it's not allegory, because I already said that one. And it's not like I don't know. Like, it's when this is to that as this is to that. And I used to do them all the time in, like, the IQ tests and stuff. But anyway, you guys know what I mean. Now, this song, after listening to it, and then reading the album and listening to it again, completely different outlook. I looked on this as a completely different song, not just in terms of music, but in terms of lyrics. And I feel like it would be very, very important that if you listen to this album, definitely go into it with not taking it for what it is. I mean, take it for what it is if you're just listening to it casually. But if you're really going to sit down and take notes and stuff, which is what I do for The Wall, every few years or so, back when I really started getting into Pink Floyd, I think I was like 6 or something, I just started playing lacrosse, which I'm now done. But I remember my dad got me Pink Floyd, and we would listen to everything off The Wall. Well, not Off the Wall, that's Michael Jackson. Music jokes. Anyway, I found it interesting that music with such little notes and such little to it could be so good. But then I started listening to it some more, like on my own free time, with like nicer headphones and the speakers in the car. while the windows were open. I heard so many different layers in it. Not just in the music. I mean in like the lyrics. I mean in the meaning. Very good album. Very interesting album. And I feel like again going into Purple Rain with this isn't just an album about partying and having a good time and eventually falling for someone and trying to make them a better person. That's not what this is about if you're going into it with a different perspective. And I would say that takes me to my next song, but the next song has nothing to do with any of that. This next song is a break from that dark theme of, wow, this really isn't what it seems. I mean, like it's not a dark, like super, like ooh, that's creepy, but it's more like, why would he make it not what it is? Moving on from that to something that's quite literally what it is, the song "Baby I'm a Star," which is obviously about Prince telling people that he's a star. I mean, he is. Still is, even after his death. This album was his breaking point of, I'm famous now. You right, puppy? Oh. She was moving. And then she's like, oh, hey, I'm awake. Look at this. She's staring at me like, did he seriously just wake me up? Sorry, I just gotta somehow get off the weird topics that I do. Anyway, this song, it's definitely a break from that. I feel like Prince knew that he's gonna be super important later on. Now, musically, I have to say, all of these songs have different layers to them. If you listen to the drums, if you listen to the bass guitar, except for When Doves Cry, which famously doesn't have bass guitar and still sounds amazing. All these songs have, if you listen to a different part, then you're going to hear something different every single time. And I love that, because it gives it a lot of replayability, and that especially applies to this song. While it may seem like it's just, oh hey, it's Prince saying that he's famous and stuff. I mean, what artist hasn't done that, saying how great they are? Prince did it through song, and he actually did it well, so I can appreciate that. So, let's just go through here. Yeah, I don't see any quite too deep lyrics other than Baby I'm a Star, which is of course the title. He is really going at himself for being so great in this song, but lyrically, it's not something that you want to listen to thinking, oh, this isn't what it seems. No. This is a song that you go on and say, I want to have a good time. I'm going to listen to this song. And imagine that I'm Prince and all that wonderful purple fabric dancing around and being awesome. Much like the very first song, and also The Beautiful Ones, which, while I said was a transition, is still one of those songs that you're likely to catch yourself inadvertently dancing. Very last song. This is going to take up a good 30 minutes if you want me to do my full rant on Purple Rain. Like the song. I don't mean the album. I mean the just the song itself. You know how I said Prince was doing his little like church gospel preaching thing at the beginning? Like whatever that sort of organ sound was in the beginning, and it's all like very echoey, very again, ethereal sounding. This is what it all came to. This song is what this entire album was waiting to get out. Like, it was just, like, what's the phrase I want to use here? Chomping at the bit, there we go, to get to this song. This is Prince's magnum opus. There is no question about that. And of course, the very first song on this album is right under that, in my opinion. Having listened to 1999, Controversy, Sign of the Times, the newer ones really didn't do it for me. The one where like he has the sunglasses, like the sunglasses here, and then there's the one up here. I forget what those are called. I feel like it's art pop, art era, art something. It has the word art in it, I'll tell you that. And I just couldn't get into them. I just couldn't. Trust me, I tried many a time. It is very un-80s, 90s Prince. It was a different Prince than we knew. Um, so, moving on to Purple Rain. Now, before I actually get to the song itself, I want to talk about the band and Prince and everyone involved with this. Prince was an interesting person. There's no doubt about that. Now, I mean, I might just look down and realize that the floral print on the album matched my shirt. Anyway, I was reading the complete oral history of the Purple Rain tour, and I tried my best to reread at least half of it today before the stream, so I had some research and a little bit of stuff to talk about. And boy, did I. Let me tell you something really interesting. Two things, actually. Prince would, when he wanted them to change phrase, like from one part of a song to the other, like say from the chorus to the bridge, sometimes, I mean, when you go to a live concert, you're going to see people are going to prolong parts of the songs sometimes, you know? It's like, I remember once my parents took me to a concert for some country artist. I think it was Darius Rucker. I'm not 100% sure. As I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of country music. But this guy got up there, and his encore was Purple Rain, and I just about died. I mean, not actually, but, like, on the inside, I was like, dude, he's doing a Prince song. I'm probably the only 11-year-old in here that knows that. But anyway, enough about me. When Prince would do the song live, well, not just Purple Rain, whenever he wanted them, like, as in his band, The Revolution, who actually wanted to do their own separate band project thing, which then Prince decided, hey, I'm going to borrow some stuff from your other project here, which then went into the song Kiss, if you know that. That was one of the offsprings of The Revolution. And Prince put that back in. He's like, we can all do it together, guys. And that they did. But anyway, during the live concerts, whenever Prince wanted them to change from, like, the chorus or a bridge, if you wanted to extend something, he'd do, like, a little hand gesture. Or, like, he would hold up a handkerchief or something and drop it. And when it hit the ground, they'd change to the next part. And it was, like, these little signals and stuff. And sometimes they were really neat. Sometimes they were really odd. But the crowd went crazy over them. And they didn't know what he was doing. So, I mean, he was Prince. He was acting cool. By, you know, doing this or something and dropping whatever he had in his hand. And that's how they know to switch from one part of the song to another. Maybe they were doing two songs at once and they transition into the other, but anyway. Sometimes he wouldn't do these. And it would just really mess with the Revolution, but it kept them on their toes, which is why I think they're so great, is because they actually did a lot of things better themselves instead of just being a backup band. They were the Revolution. Like, you can say Prince and the Revolution, people are going to accept it as one big thing, and not say, oh, it's Prince and the Revolution. No, they're going to say Prince and the Revolution if you're asking the right person. But before every show, backstage, Prince would say something like, hey guys, I'm thinking about breaking the band up after this. Like, I'm not even kidding. He would literally say that to them, and they just sit there. How you doing, Pappy? She's giving me a side eye. Why? Anyway, so every time they would be just about to go on, Prince would say, "Hey guys, I'm thinking about breaking up the band after this because I think we've had a good run. I'm gonna stop us after that." No, he wasn't going to, but like the fact that they weren't 100% sure about him, because he would always say these things, and sometimes he would actually do some of the things. Like he'd say, "Hey guys, I'm not giving you any cues tonight," or something, and he wouldn't. So like they would know that like he could be serious about this, and they play so well. That's how Prince kept his band motivated, by almost threatening them to do better. And backstage, the setup crew would actually have bets on how long Purple Rain would be. It's 9 minutes normally on the record. They would extend it upwards of 25 minutes live sometimes. They would bet. People win like hundreds of dollars on this sometimes if they bet enough. people would win so much money backstage doing this. Like the setup crew would just be like, hey guys, how much do you bet that they're gonna get to 27 minutes tonight? And someone would be back there with the stopwatch when Purple Rain started playing, and people would win actual money doing this. I'm pretty sure it's kind of illegal, but hey, gotta earn a living somehow other than, you know, being a roadie for Prince, which I'm sure paid really well. But anyway, to the actual song now that I've done my whole spiel. This is the part I was waiting to get to. This is the part that I was really hoping I'd get to before... Oh, jeez, I'm already 40 minutes in. So this is only 9 songs! Anyway. Purple Rain. As I said, Prince gets back up on his podium and does the little speechy soliloquy sort of thing. I like that. I really like that. He's a wonderful, wonderful, masterful, if you will, guitar player. And this really shows about partway through. About 3/4 of the way through is when... No, it's about halfway through, and then it changes about 3/4 of the way through in his solo, which takes up a good chunk of the song. And the lyrics are very, again, religious allegories and Purple Rain, who would have guessed it? Now, this time, it's about Prince being some sort of messiah, sort of, almost, as again... I was reading these articles, and this is what it's saying. I don't 100% agree with it because it's Purple Rain. It's Prince. I don't think... I mean, I'd expect him to go that deep, but not like, whoa, simmer down there, man. Like, you gotta... But anyway, I found this a very interesting song completely away from all that. I want to get completely away from all the themes and stuff and focus on the music. The music itself is what's important to me here. So, yes, he says Purple Rain a lot. We can get past that. But you can tell when the song goes on for minutes and minutes and minutes after it says the last lyric on here, you know it's a good song. Like Pink Floyd, for example, where, you know, you only see like a few lines of text, and that's the, Oh, I got a text. Anyway. Yeah, I got text on my computer. What about your life? Anyway, this song is so good. So good. I don't think I can go too into depth with how good it is. Just enough that if you listen to it for... how long is it? 8 minutes, 45 seconds. You're not wasting 8 minutes and 45 seconds listening to this. This is a song that you will love from beginning to end. Even if you don't listen to the rest of the album, this will still be the culmination of the album, even if you didn't listen to the rest of the album, because it's like, whoa, this is really, like, hard-hitting, good stuff right here. This is pure, like, very dark, purple, lame wearing Prince. This is, like, very last song of the concert. Everyone's getting there. You know, back in the day, it'd be lighters, but I don't have one, so... People be doing this and stuff, you know, right? I mean, it's one of those songs, but it's a good one. It's not one of those songs that you're gonna be doing this like for no reason. It's one of those songs that you listen to it, and once it's over, you're gonna be like, can I listen to it again? I mean, yes, it does have Apollonia at the very end doing her little vocalizing stuff, and I don't know how I feel about that entirely. Because, again, Apollonia. I don't know what entirely to say more about this, other than the fact that this album really impacts a lot of people, including me, and you're getting that from me. I mean, half of this, actually most of this, wasn't even about the music itself. It's about the memories and the feelings I have through the music. And I don't know if you got this far in the stream, but if you're hearing this, hopefully you know that this is how I really feel about the album. This album, it's a roller coaster of emotions, and it really shows more than partway through. More than partway through. You really start to realize, whoa, there's a big difference here in what was earlier. It's kind of like how the album Starboy by The Weeknd goes from party songs and stuff to, oh wait, I actually... have love interest now, and I should probably focus on her instead of going out and partying and stuff. No, I should probably stay here with her. So, so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Purple Rain. It really changes itself halfway through, and I feel like saying that the feelings that this evokes for me is more than just it. It's not just an album to me. It is a look through. Like, even if the songs don't apply to me or you or whoever's listening to the album, you're still gonna get hit hard by the end. Honestly, when Purple Rain comes on and you hear that first chord, you're gonna be like transcended. Like it is a must listen. If you're gonna listen to any song off this, make it Purple Rain. It takes 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Just do it, honestly. But I don't know entirely what he means by "I only want to see you in the purple rain." Whatever he means by that, I think it's a good thing. So I hate to end this stream because I really like this. I really love this album, and I feel like mentioning all those memories, all those things that I read, all those things that I thought about this album, about how it may not be what it seems, but it also is what it is. And I feel like that's just a testament to how influential, how good, how well Prince can express himself as an artist. I just love the fact that he can write this album and sit back and think, there's so many things people are going to get out of this, and I don't even know half of them, because so many interpretations. Now, if you go and ask someone who grew up and lived through the 80s, they will probably say at some point that Prince was somehow in their life. Like, I happen to know multiple people, actually, not just in my family. But this album was so influential, still is today, and I can say with full certainty that while some of the songs I may not like them all too much, just this album's memories and what it evokes in me is more than enough to give it a 9.5 rating out of 10. Well, I guess that ends this. I spent about 50 minutes almost telling you guys how I felt about this album, and half the time wasn't even about the music. It was more of a self-story, sort of self-discovery stream more than it was about the music. So I feel like that is also something that you can definitely get out of this. So if you're going to listen to a very well-written, very hard-hitting, very self-introspective album, make it this one. It's only 9 songs. You can get through it in, I don't know, an hour-ish, a little bit less, 45 minutes. Either way, it's a must listen. So I may be back later tonight, actually, with Death of a Bachelor. Woo, Death of a Bachelor. I'm trying to do like modern earlier sort of thing. So like after Death of a Bachelor, I was gonna do Saturday Night Fever, and then after that, I was gonna do From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy. So hopefully I keep that. But if you guys have anything you want to see, hit me up with that, and I'd be glad to do it. So anyway, that was great. Thank you guys if you actually sat through that. If you didn't, totally understand, you're actually not seeing this. Unless you skipped ahead to the end, which is, again, okay. So, everyone, say goodbye to the official Vinyl Show Dog of the Year. Hey, puppy. Yeah, you know it. That's her. So, thank you everyone very much for sitting through about 50 minutes of some guy telling you how much he likes Purple Rain and how much it meant to him, even if he didn't talk about the music all that much. So, thanks again. Can't wait to see you guys later for... Actually, I'll go get it. I'll go get it so I can show you guys how cool this looks. I wish I could hit notes like this guy. But anyway, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this one. I don't think this one's going to be all too long. I think this one's going to be, I like this song, 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 and I'm going to keep going on, and I like this song, and I like this song, until I get to LA Devotee, and I'll be like, But then I'll get to Golden Days and be like, I like this song, I like this song. But, what can I say? Purple Rain made an impact on me, and I feel like that's enough to give it the score that I did. If an album can put that many things into my head to think about, and not just listening to it, I mean after it even, I was still thinking about, wow, I know a lot of people who like this, and I know a lot of people who are impacted by this wonderful artist known as, Prince, and of course Revolution. So, this, mm, 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 good stuff. Definitely give it a listen. So anyway, I'll see you guys later for Death of a Bachelor. See you guys soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and of course, most importantly, comment. I want to see what albums you guys like. So, see you guys later for, as I said, like 5 times probably, Death of a Bachelor. Should I make my dog soon? No. I'm not going to make her say bye. I think she's asleep. So anyway, see you guys.